Hi, everybody, and welcome to your online learning. This is a really fun unit that I want you to get a lot out of and I want you to have a lot of fun with. So, this is about devising and creating characters for storytelling. Now, it probably is easiest if you have a look at one of the books that I've read out online on this channel. I will send you some links for those as well. Otherwise, just search for Drama Cat on YouTube and you will see there that there is some books that I've read out. And this is essentially what I'm asking you to do for this project. We don't have a huge amount of time, and I don't want to overload you because I know that you've already got lots of work from all of your other teachers. So let's get into it. So, our leading questions: factual, what is storytelling? So, what is storytelling? Storytelling is to be able to bring a story to life and to be able to communicate its message in brief. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. These are some conceptual questions, and I'd like you to answer these in your journals. How do I create something from words on a page? So I want you to think about the video that you've watched where I've read some stories out, and I want you to go ahead and give that a go. When you're creating characters to work in harmony with one another, what can we learn from feedback from others, and how can we refine our work accordingly? So this is kind of a two-part question. So you've got when you're creating characters that work with harmony with one another. So let's say you've got that bit sorted. So you've got some nice contrasts between your characters and your voices that you are using. For example, in the Gruffalo, we had a very low voice for the Gruffalo. Amazing, said the Gruffalo. And quite a high little voice for the mouse. So think about how you can work them in harmony. And by harmony, I don't actually mean that I want them similar. We actually want them to be quite different. We want the voices that you're using to be different and engaging. And what can we learn from feedback from others, and how do we refine our work accordingly? So this is where you could read the book in front of someone else in your home, or you can reach out to your other classmates and look at that specifically. How are your characters working with each other? We don't want the dog to sound like the cat if you are doing a story with a dog and a cat. We don't want the son to sound like the mother. We want different characters to work together well. And by that, I've put work together in harmony. How do I successfully alter, change, and redefine an existing piece of work to create something fresh and new? And that's all up to your creativity. That's all up to what can you do with that story that's in your hands? What voices can you create to bring these characters to life? What facial expressions might these guys have? You could even move your shoulders. Obviously, we're not talking about great big grand gestures and everything like that, because it's an intimate situation where you're reading a story through YouTube. So think about what you can do with your face. You can use your facial expression to mirror what your character is feeling. Or maybe what your character is feeling this time. Okay, how do I positively take on feedback for my character performance? So that's something that we will do as part of this assignment, but we'll get it more into that later. And debatable question: is storytelling important in modern society? So hopefully this is something that we are going to be able to answer by the end of this unit, once we've really explored storytelling. Okay, what do we know about storytelling? So I want you to recall one of your favorite books from childhood, how it brings back the memories, and how it made you feel when someone read you a story. I want you to write down some points there. I'd like you to go for 5 at least. If you can do more, that's really great as well. So, we're creating real characters. By that, I don't mean that they're characters that you would meet in real life, but these are characters that have a life of their own. And a really good example of this is, any kind of cartoons. Let's say Ariel. She's a mermaid. There aren't mermaids in real life. Or in Finding Nemo, fish don't talk, okay? But they are real characters. They have real emotions. They have changes in their voices which reflect how they feel. They have a characterized voice. This is what we're going for. So your learning intention for this section is strategies for authentic character acting. So by authentic, again, and I can't stress this enough, obviously we're not going to have a conversation with a seagull or a fish or a dog or a cat. But if we were to, what might they say? How might they sound? What might they be feeling? And this is where it's your job to really bring these characters in these storybooks to life for your beautiful audience of young children. Okay, creating real characters. So the best way to have a believable, solid, and workable script is to have really strong characters. So this links back to the script work that some of you have done or that you'll be doing in future units. Okay, so your script in this situation is the storybook that you're reading. So you didn't write this, but you do have every power of creativity to develop the characters within it. Okay, so in order to achieve this, you have to create these characters as three-dimensional beings so that you're not really acting, just acting, like, oh, I'm so angry. But put yourselves in their shoes. What are they feeling? You need some kind of grounding for your character's actions and their reactions to others. You need to know why your character does and says everything they do, just as you have a reason when you say or do anything. Okay, so this is just a response. This is a question that I normally get in class, so I wanted to include it in our online learning. Why do I need to really understand my character? Can't I just read the lines? So unless you really know and understand your characters and why they're saying what they're saying, or why they are reacting in a particular way, then your performance is going to feel like a cardboard cutout. You're not going to engage with your audience. Those little ones who are on the other end of a screen are not going to watch you. They're going to drift off, yeah? They're going to go and empty a packet of flour over the kitchen or something, okay? It'll feel inauthentic and false. And to quote some grade 9 students who love to use this word, it'd be cringy, miss. All right, and we've all watched cringe-worthy performances, and this is generally because the actor isn't being the character. They're simply speaking the lines, or they're just acting externally like, I don't want to go to bed. The quickest way to ruin your performance for everyone is to do something like that. We really need to be authentic. And even though these characters might be a boy and his mum, or it might be a fish, or a dog, or a horse, they still have feelings. And it's our job as actors to bring those feelings to life through our voices. And what a wonderful, magical gift that we have to be able to do that. So, in real life, people are interesting because we're all different. We all react to certain things in certain ways. So a really easy example for this is if you've got a really gullible friend. I think everybody's got a really gullible friend. And they'll just believe anything that anyone says. And I'm not saying that to belittle anyone that's gullible. I think that these people are just so trusting and so lovely. And most of the people that I know who are really gullible are just really sweet, loving, kind people. And they're gullible because they don't believe that you would possibly tell them anything other than the truth. So think about how much and how easy it is to wind them up. And you'll always have a friend who loves winding them up as well and spinning them a story. Or think of a friend who scares really easily. Or that friend who always makes every situation really funny. So think about all of these things. These are character traits. These are really interesting characters that we can use when we're creating stories. And when we're bringing these characters to life within the stories. So we all see the world differently, and that's why there's no rules for the test you have. It's up to you to create the world for your characters. Honey, stop barking. the vacuum cleaner came out, so she's not happy about the vacuum cleaner. Where was I? As humans, we love to connect the dots. And why did this person say that? Why did that person react like that? So your goal is to create your characters which pose questions to your audience. But they need to be held up by a strong backstory, and that's what we're going to create for our characters. So what we've just been talking about is some interesting voices or character traits that maybe your friends or family have. Maybe it's an accent, or they talk very loud, or they speak really, very fast, or like we said, they're really gullible, they scare easily, anything, yeah? So I want you to think about the people in your life who maybe have these interesting voices or character traits. We can actually use these when we are creating these characters and creating character backstories. All right, so this one, I'm going to take you to another video that I've done. This is a focusing and breathing warm-up activity. So I want you to stop the video here when it's done, and you're going to go to a different video, and then you're going to come back to this one for part 2.